Shalom, shalom. I'm going to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learn this truth 100% according to the Bible. And I also want to say shalom to the 144,000, the elect scattered abroad the four corners of the earth, and shalom to the Akwaf, which are you sisters that are sincere, and your children. Shalom. And in today's title of the video is going to be titled, Famines Are Coming. So I got basically this video from this guy, real good channel for, information and things of that nature that are occurring around the earth and events that are taking place. This video came out an hour ago, as you can see, but the title, it says exact date U.S. supermarkets hit shortages and empty shelves, right? So today video basically going to be building off of the famine that we know is coming in these latter days. For you got many scriptures throughout the Bible and the Apocrypha what tells you about there's going to be famines in these last days, man. So I'm gonna get into this video just so we can, hear what it is that he's talking about, and I get a few precepts, Lord's willing, that can be edifying to you, brothers and sisters that come across it. So with that being said, I'm gonna get into the video. But before I started, I want to say fair use under the 1976 Copyright Act. I'm not getting paid for this video. This is only for educational purposes only. So fair use.
Just came out by experts. These articles state it like this: as stores scramble to find workarounds to President Donald Trump's trade tariffs, one retail expert has revealed when consumers can expect to feel the impact. Real quick before we get going, put in the comments, do you think that this is going to affect prices, availability, ongoing inflation like we haven't seen it, and empty shelves? I know I've got a lot of business.
Well, we know from the Bible, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible, that, yeah, these famines are going to happen. There's going to be scarcities of food. These shelves soon will be empty, man, especially when the time of Jacob's trouble ensues and you have panic and chaos, looting of stores and all of these different types of things taking place due to the lack of bread thereof. I mean, yeah, it's going to be famine. So I'm going to go to this precept right here. I'm going to go to St. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7, because it tells us all throughout the Bible, like I said before, about famines coming in the latter days. All of these are the signs of the times to allow us to know that we're living at the end of this place, America, man, and of this eon, this age of the so-called white man. So you're going to have famines and all of these different things occurring in the earth, right? This is Matthew 24 and 7 KJV. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, right? And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And I read these basically because all of these things in which I just listed, you can see these events already occurring in the earth as I'm speaking right now. You got the earthquakes in diverse places happening. You got all type of pestilences and different type of diseases popping up out of the woodworks and things of that nature. You got kingdom against kingdom, all of these nations fighting against one another, and you got famines happening, man, So, I mean, it's going to happen at the end of the day, thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. All of these things will fulfill at the end of the day. So we know there will be food shortages and things of that nature, man. And a lot of people are going to, perish due to these food shortages in the latter days, as it tells you in, the book of, what precept is that? I believe it's in the book of, the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a lot of people are going to perish from these famines, man, But I'm going to get back into the video, just so we can hear a little bit more what he's saying and things of that nature. Then I get a few more precepts. Right. But these famines are going to happen, man. And we're already seeing the beginning stages of it. Like I said, those tariffs that Trump put on these other countries is only going to just affect the people here in America. Babylon the Great, the worst. It's not going to affect these other countries because they're the ones that's, making and manufacturing a lot of these things that you so-called Babylonians need in order to thrive and to be, satisfied and things of that nature. But once these people stop sending all of this stuff in, which is going to happen, then you people are going to feel the intense pressure, man, from these tariffs that Trump is putting on these other countries. And ultimately, like I always like to bring out Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart, meaning his mind, is in the hands of the Lord. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is the one that's controlling everything, controlling the mind of Trump and of these other countries, that's making them bring forth these famines and these different events that we see transpiring in the earth, because ultimately, as I've said, the Lord is bringing forth judgment upon the earth, man, and especially you people here in America, Babylon the Great, you Egyptians, and you 2/3 wicked Jakes and Eves, man. The Lord is bringing forth a lot of judgment. So, that's the time period that we're living in. So you can expect more things to occur, especially famines, man. That's going to be the leading cause in a lot of these deletions, other than the nuclear destruction that's going to plague this place, America. But you're going to have a lot of different things coming in these latter days. And I'm going to go to that precept. Bear with me. Then we'll get back into the video. Because there be spirits that are created for vengeance, and the Lord tells you that famine is a spirit created for vengeance. So a lot of people is gonna that spirit is gonna take out a lot of people in these times to come, man. So bear with me. I'm gonna go to Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. All right. Also known as Ecclesiasticus, and it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, right? This is verse 29. Fire and hail and famine, right? And death, all these were created for vengeance. Verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction, ultimately, because all of these plagues are going to come upon you wicked people in America, man. You 2/3 Jakes and you 2/3 women and men, and you damn heathens, man. All of these different type of events are going to come upon you people in these latter days, and you other nations around the world, man. It's going to affect you too, you know. But the Lord basically is coming after everybody that ain't of his elect, man. They're going to feel the wrath of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Right? So I'm going to get back into this video,
Prices, availability, ongoing inflation like we haven't seen it, and empty shelves. I know I've got a lot of business associates that are on the fence on how the projection of their business is going to go this year based on this tariff situation. Now, like I said, I've got some good information at the end of this video, but let me tell you what the news is saying. So this is how they put it. Chaos from President Donald Trump's trade tariffs is likely to start impacting shelves, and experts have warned Americans, many of whom are currently stockpiling goods, and if you are, good for you. This could be coming sooner.
Well, we ultimately know that, don't get me wrong, stockpiling is, smart if you are a carnal person, but we know ultimately that the times that's going to come, the times of Jacob's trouble, that the Lord said it's going to be a time like never before. So, I mean, you can stock and prep and all of that good stuff, you know what I mean? But if you don't have Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai with you, then you're going to be a target in these times, man. All of your goods and things of that nature that you people are stocking up on is going to become someone else's, man. Ultimately, it'll probably be stored up for the elect of the Lord, for them to eat. So, I mean, a lot of these people doing things, you might not even get a chance to make it back to your house because we don't know when these things are going to pop off. As the Lord has said, it's going to come unawares. I meant, suddenly, so, hey, I mean, none of that stuff is going to help you. None of your carnal instincts, depending upon your own understanding of what you think is going to get you through these times, is going to help, man. You got to have the Lord in these times. That's why it tells you in Isaiah 33:6, how knowledge and wisdom, or the scripture shall be the stability of thy times, roughly paraphrasing it. So if you don't have a established relationship and faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, then nothing is really going to save you, man. Not no stockpiles, not any weapons, and that's what these Babylonian 2/3 and heathens love doing, man. They love talking about prepping and stocking up and all of that. But it's funny, you people are stocking up carnally, but you people ain't. None of you people, you Jakes, particularly you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American men and women, none of you people are building yourselves up in the spirit. You're just trying to build up things and store up treasures and things upon this place, Babylon, man. It's crazy, but that's not going to save you, though.
Than you think. Now, our channel always promotes being ready and aware. You got to have provisions in case some emergency type thing happens. And think about it like this. Whether this is a result of the tariffs, we may still see empty shelves. You know what I mean? They want us to see it. We'll definitely see it. But what are the dates that these...
Hey, that's facts, because, I mean, we ultimately know that, Esau Edom, but hey, like I said again, he's the sword of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So even if a lot of these things are orchestrated, the Lord is allowing these people to do it. As I read again, Proverbs 21:1. So, I mean, this is nothing that Esau is doing on his own accord. This is all the Lord's will that is being done, man. And I'm going to go to just another scripture touching in on the famines. Bear with me. I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6. Verse 22, and it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And those storehouses is talking about these modern day stores, these Walmarts, all of these different places where you got all of these CEOs coming out basically saying that they're going to be empty soon to come. So there's going to be food shortages. There are going to be famines. People will have to resort to, eating other type of different things and stuff like that, because you're going to have a food shortage. And that's going to be one of the main reasons why you're going to have a lot of violence ensuing soon to come, because it's not going to be food, man. And you know that these greedy people here in Babylon the Great, these people's body are not used to fasting, man, going days and days without eating. So when push come to shove, man, these people going to bug out just then none of them are going to put their trust in the Lord, especially you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You people not going to trust in the Lord in these times, you 2/3. So guess what? You people are going to bug out once this man tell you that the stores are empty. And that's what's going to really make all of this chaos and things like that ensue. That's what's going to cause really the panic in these people, man. When they don't have food, you thinking people acting up now, man. Just wait till these food shortages do happen, which will come soon, and you're going to see just how barbaric and how heathenistic these Americans are, man. These damn 2/3 of these other heathen nations, because they're gonna behave in a way that people thought you will never see a person behave in, man. And that's ultimately why the Lord says in Matthew 24:21, "For then should be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be." People gonna bug out, man. That's why we pray Yahweh Ratazah, we be of that elect, that the Lord protects us in these dark times that are to come, man. Because it tells you in Psalms 34:7 how the angel of the Lord encampeth around about those that fear him and delivereth them. So Lord's will, we pray the Lord just to keep his fear on us, man, to fear him and to do his work to the best of our abilities, man, so that we'll be found worthy enough to escape these impending destructions and catastrophes that's about to come upon planet Earth, man, especially in this place, America, Babylon. So I'm going to go to another precept. Bear with me. I'm going to go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Just flowing in the spirit. And I'm going to start at verse 14. And this is what's coming. It says, "Woe, meaning destruction, to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh," which means it's soon to come, man. "And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And the main reason going to be because of this is because, like I said, the lack of resources, the lack of bread, people getting laid off from jobs, people feeling like they have nothing else to live for, man. Like the old saying goes in the world, the most dangerous person is a person that has nothing to lose, man. And a lot of these Americans about to see that soon to come, that they don't got nothing, man, because everything that they thought they had that this devil presented them is about to be snatched away from up under them, man, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, who's controlling everything. So ultimately, these people is about to go into chaos, man, panic, civil wars, things of that nature, uprising of the people. As it tells you in Jeremiah 30:7, "It shall be the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it," meaning the elect. Lord's will be at that hopeful number, because we want to get delivered out of these times we know is coming, man. And it's soon to come. Just not to go off a point a little bit, but the Lord spoke to me not too long ago, man, the spirit, and told me that Jacob's trouble is coming, man. So for all of you unbelievers and you people out there that thinking these things are not going to happen, man, it's going to take place, man. And as the Lord said in Matthew 24:34, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled." So a lot of you people out there that scoffing and thinking that you're going to escape all of this destruction that's happening, or you too good to allow these things to happen to you, or it'll never happen, you're going to see these things, man. Right? That's why the Lord said, "Many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter days shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride," roughly paraphrasing 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. And then I like the version in the GNT. I'm going to go to that, because that GNT version is, very edifying. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50 in the GNT. And it says, "The people of this world who have lived their lives in pride and arrogance will suffer many things in the last days." And we're about to come into those last days. We're already in them, actually, but they're going to keep intensifying. It's going to keep building to ultimately that baby is born, which is that destruction that's coming, So we're just in the beginning stages of the disaster that's impending, man. That's not to come, right? And it says, I'm going to finish off where I left. It says, I'm going to read verse 15 again. "For the sword and their destruction drive nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And that's what these people are going to do soon to come, man. Like I said, when they don't have food, when they don't have resources, all of these layoffs affecting these people don't, once these people start realizing that the American dream was actually an American nightmare, then that's when they're going to start bugging out, man. They're going to start taking matters into their own hands. And that's when you're going to have a sedition among men, the uprising of people going against the government. I mean, all of these things are going to happen, man, you know, and I'm going to go to a precept just proving that. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's ultimately going to happen to, like I said, due to the lack of bread, man, due to the lack of people having resources and feeling betrayed by the government, man, because they're going to realize that everything that they believed in this country was a lie, man. And that's really going to make these people mad, especially these heathens, man. You know, and Jake is going to follow right behind it because, you know, a lot of Jakes are out here, they're bugged out and believing in this place, Babylon the Great as well. They trusting in Egypt and in their master Esau. So when everything, you know, hits the fan, then it's going to be complete and utter destruction, man. People are going to be going up against the government. They're going to be going up against one another. I mean, there's going to be a complete, utter chaos taking place out here on these Babylonian streets, man. But we ultimately know, as I said earlier, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is controlling everything, that he wants these events to take place. It tells you that in the book of Amos chapter 3. And I'm going to go to there. Right? This is Amos chapter 3. And I'm going to start at verse 6. In the KJV, it says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? And that trumpet is representing this word of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua that's going out through the four corners of the earth, starting off with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that is teaching the true doctrine according to the Bible, and the men that are following the same, you know, doctrine and speaking it. Those are the men that is blowing the trumpet. Right. And of course, we can see that people are not afraid because ultimately these people actions show that they're not afraid. They're still out here committing wickedness. I'm talking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You know, you 2/3 of the nation of Israel. That's why ultimately the Lord is going to bring a lot of destruction upon his people, man. Because a lot of you Jakes don't want to take heed to these warnings. You're not afraid of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's why you people commit the acts that which it is that you do. That's why you behave in the way that you behave, because you don't have no fear of the Lord in your eyes, man. But the Lord is going to bring fear in this earth, man. And he's going to get, you people are going to fear the Lord, man. Trust me, one way or another, whether you like you said, the same must know it after death by pain, man. 2nd Ezra 15 and 4. So a lot of you people, you don't fear the Lord now, but trust me, soon to come in these days of chaos that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is about to bring upon this earth, you people will fear the Lord, man, one way or another, you know. So just going back into where I left off at, it says, shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, have not done it. And that word evil goes into the Hebrew word rayam, right? Meaning bad times, man. So the Lord is about to bring very bad times upon you Americans, man. You know, anybody that's not of the elect, man, they're going to feel this intensity and this heat that the Lord is bringing upon this earth, man. You know, so I'm going to get back into this video, you know, just so we can hear what it is he's finished talking about. So, you know, bear with me while I pull it up. All right. Here we go.
That these experts are telling us that this is going to happen. Oftentimes, they tell us what's going to happen. It says America's shop floors could soon look a lot emptier with heftier price tags. Despite Trump struggling off the looming recession on goods for shoppers as supply chain disruptions triggered by the ongoing trade war begin to hit home. And if you got a second, put down in the comments what area you're in and if you're noticing any difference yet. Now, this Molson Hart, a CEO of consumer products company, has warned that the economic impact of the U.S. government's escalating tariff battle will start showing up in stores from May 10th, with product shortages and price hikes becoming increasingly noticeable in the weeks to follow. And also they throw this pertinent information, which is a tag to another story, but TSA announces 5 states that will not require real ID after May 7th deadline. And if you guys are curious about that, just know that if you have a passport or an enhanced driver's license, it sounds like you won't need the upgraded real ID. Now, as far as this date that they're throwing out there, in a detailed breakdown posted to X, Hart said that the suspension of Chinese trade around April 10th, largely due to the new tariffs pushed by Donald Trump's administration, is about to create a serious ripple effect across America's retail and logistics sector. And the way that he put it, it's like a car is speeding towards a brick wall and you don't even see it yet. So,
right. So basically what's coming is complete and utter destruction, man. Chaos, upheaval of the people, man. You know, sedition among men, you know, famines, chaos, turmoil, you know, all of these different things that, like I said, the men of the Lord have been warning you people about for decades, starting with the apostles and elders and the bishops of Great Millstone and the men on down teaching the same doctrine. Been warning you people, telling you that these things are going to come. And here it is. You don't believe the men of the Lord. But soon as, these elites and these people in the stores and all of this stuff come out, these CEOs of these companies, these Edomites, and they tell you this stuff is going to happen, then guess what? Jake rushing to the store and all of this stuff. Hey, but the Lord tells us that his people is sottish, man. Sottish children, man. And that's what a lot of you Jakes are. Very sottish, very stupid. You believe everything that this master of yours, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, tells you. But here it is. The men of the Lord been warning you Jakes for years, man. And you don't hearken unto the words of the men of the Lord, but you listening to what the devil tells you, man. Now you're finna have a lot of people panic buying and things of that nature, looting stores. I mean, like I said, man, everything is being set up for chaos to come to this place, America, man. And I'm going to go back to the precept where I left off at in the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 18. It said, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid," right? So we know a lot of chaos is coming, man. A lot of people about to be afraid. A lot of people about to be in fear. As the Lord said in Luke 21-26, and I'm going to go to that precept. Bear with me, and I'm going to move around in the spirit. I'll come back to 2nd Esdras. I'm going to go to Luke chapter 21. All right. And it says, "Men's heart fell in them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken," man. So, I mean, like I said, you're going to have a lot of things unseen that are going to be manifesting themselves into this, third dimension. You're going to have apparitions. You're going to have all type of different things. Like I said, it's going to be a time like never before. So, people's heart are going to be falling in for fear, man. People are going to be having heart attacks, all types of things coming, man, And that's all the Lord judging you wicked people, man, And I'm back at where I left at, 2nd Esdras 15, and I'm going to read verse 19. It said, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor," right? And that's ultimately going to be, like I said, due to these food shortages, man, and due to the lack of resources, due to the poverty and things of that nature that's about to soon hit this place, America, tremendously. People are going to be going up against one another, so your favorite neighbor is going to be the one that's going to be trying to soon come break into your house to take your goods, spoil your house, meaning steal and ransack everything that you have. So that's why, going back into what I said earlier about prepping, that prepping stuff ain't going to save you, man, if you don't have Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because if people know that you got food in your houses and resources and they don't have anything, what you think they're going to do to you? Especially if they got weapons and things of that nature. So it's going to get complete bloody out here, man. And the only way you're going to get through this, like I said again, you got to have the protection of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the only people that are going to have that protection is the elect and the 1/3 remnant. Lord's will, we be at a hopeful number, But I'm going to read it again. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the swords," man. People going to be shooting up people's houses, man, due to not having no food and people just bugging out, man, And it says, "And spoil their goods," right? Meaning ransacking their houses, going in there, taking everything that they can to, assist them and their families, right? And it says, "Because of the lack of bread," right? Going into that famine, there's going to be a lack of food. So this is why these people really going to lose their damn minds, man, right? "And for great tribulation," right? So ultimately, that's what's coming, man. Great tribulation, like never before. It's hitting this earth, man. This is already manifesting. It's just going to continue to get worse and worse, as I said before. So we're going to get back into this video, just listen to a little bit more of what it is he's saying.
The U.S. is currently imposing an average 145% tariff on Chinese goods, with some categories taxed as high as 245% per a White House fact sheet, which that alone should have an effect on a lot of things. While the tariffs are officially levied on importers, the added cost is typically passed on to the U.S. consumers in the form of higher prices. And that's just the way it goes. If these guys have to pay higher prices to get it, you can bet they're not going to eat it. They're going to pass it on to us, and we're going to see it in the price tag. It may get pretty interesting here real soon. According to Hart, it says it takes 30 to 55 days for shipments from China to reach American ports, depending on the destination. And it says, with trade effectively halted on April 10th, that means key cities will start feeling the steam in mid-May, beginning in Los Angeles, then moving to Houston and Chicago, and then finally New York. And I know you guys are wondering.
Right. So basically, like I said, the stage is being set for chaos to unravel in these cities, man. And that's what's about to come, So I'm gonna go to this precept right here, you know. Bear with me. I'm gonna go to the book of Habakkuk. When we bring out these same precepts for edification purposes, because these are the times that we're living in. So we got to keep blowing the trumpet, saying the same things, like our forefather Moses did. He warned the people of the flood for 120, not Moses, Salaki, our forefather Noah. He warned the people of the flood for 120 plus years, man. And they thought he was crazy, thinking these things was never going to come to pass. Same thing with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. These men been on the highways and hedges, starting with Apostle Tahar for almost 40 years, man. 40 years plus. Elder Apostle Gabar, 35 plus years, teaching his truth. And, have been having to deal with scoffers and people coming up against the truth saying, oh, that stuff will never happen and this, that, and the third. But the Lord said that these things will happen, right? And this Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, KJV, it says, for the vision, right, meaning the prophecies, is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, right? And we're in the end right now. So all of these things are beginning to speak. But the only people that can see it, like I said before, are the men of the Lord and the women that are sincere, right? The hopeful elect lady and man. They're the only people that can see these signs unraveling and unfolding and manifesting itself, right? And not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. So as I said, these things are coming, man. So, this is the time for us to be kissing the son, lest he be angry, man. And I'm going to end it off with that precept. I'm going to go to Psalms chapter 2, verse 12. All right, bear with me. This is the time for us to be getting closer and closer to Lord Yahushua, man, because, hey, it's about to get bad out here, man. I'm telling you, you're going to need that protection from the Lord. We're all going to need it, So I'm going to go to this right here. Bear with me. It says, this is Psalms chapter 2, verse 12. It said, kiss the son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are all they that put their trust in him. So that's what we want to do, Akwaf and Akim. We want to put our trust in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in these times, knowing that all hell is soon to break loose. We want the Lord to deliver us, man, and protect us from these dark times, because we know that it's coming soon, So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to say with today's video. Lord's willing to be edifying. Till the next time, I'm going to say shalom.